Welcome back, everyone. This is Group 3's business idea presentation for a backpack that gives your dog a job.
The Wolf Pack is a lightweight, durable backpack designed for adventuring dogs and their owners. The purpose of the pack is threefold. It's a training tool, it's an exercise device, and it's an adventure tool. As a training tool, expert dog trainers have pointed out that dogs are bred to work, and equipping them with a backpack to carry things increases their focus and enhances their lives. Second, it's an exercise device, as weighing the backpack with 10% of the dog's body weight, it doubles the impact of any activity. Say 30 minutes of walking becomes 60 minutes. It's also an adventure tool because a dog is able to contribute by carrying food, water, treats, car keys, cell phones, or anything else their owner needs assistance carrying while on a hike, camping trip, or a day at the park.
In this part of the presentation, I'm going to share why we had decided to go with the Wolf Pack. In the dog backpack industry, there are already companies that are well established within this market. However, we feel that we would be able to differentiate our Wolf Pack with materials such as ones that are water resistant, that are more reflective, and that are more breathable for the dog. We also felt that with the Wolf Pack, our production cost to get a prototype out would be low. That way we could get feedback from our customers and find out how we could improve our product more. We also felt that our other ideas that we had come up with, we felt that they were strong. However, there would be many difficult barriers that we would have to overcome. And with the Wolf Pack, we felt that this would be the strongest approach to be able to get an effective product out into the market.
Value hypothesis. The Wolf Pack brings value to the market by being the premium middle of the dog backpack market. The dog backpacks starts anywhere from $15 at Amazon to $92 from a website called Wolf Republic. They specialize in quality-made dog backpacks made for most adventurous adventures. Wolfpack. Wolfpack would be the perfect premium middle market for the dog backpack. They start at the $50 to $60 range and has the capabilities of added sew-ons and customizable features at an extra cost that would make your dog backpack durable, one of a kind, and unique to you and your best friend. Wolfpack would offer more support around the hips, giving your dog more balance and support.
So we used a few different processes to select our final idea. One of them was, as a group, we voted and discussed the 5 final ideas and took into consideration the comments that the professor made for each of our final ideas. Also, the comments that our classmates made on our presentations were also helpful to determine what we need to work on if we chose that final idea. Another thing that helped us decide to choose this idea was one of our group members did some industry research on this idea, so he gave us a better insight to what the Wolf Pack was about and how it's a good idea for a startup. Wolf Pack solves a problem for people who don't have time to take their dogs out to exercise, and not just pet owners who don't have time to take their dog out to exercise, but it also is a good product for anyone who just wants their dog to be healthier. A vast majority of people own dogs, and the Wolf Pack product is an essential tool for their dog's health. According to the American Pet Product Association, 60.2 million U.S. households own a dog. So I feel like there's a very good amount of people who would be willing to buy our product.
There have been plenty takeaways throughout the process of narrowing down the different ideas to what we have now with the Wolf Pack. A few of the different factors, competition, of course, it's something that sometimes you don't think about quite as much as you need to. Saturation in a market, it's not impossible to deal with, but it's a definite factor that you have to consider. Even if there is a definite flaw with something in a current industry, with the saturation of a market, sometimes it can be too hard to get into that market just to be able to show how different you are. And those are some of the things that weighed into the decision of what we have now. The amount of effort or having a set plan of getting from point A to point B in terms of starting and gaining traction in a market. Sometimes it's just too difficult to be able to do, and that's where you have to weigh those different options. With the customer base, two different questions. They seem similar, but they are very different. Who are our customers and who's paying for the product or service, whatever it is? And thinking through that, we realized with a few of the other ideas that we had, sometimes it's a great idea, but the people in charge of the funding aren't necessarily the ones using the product. And that's where it becomes difficult, because if the person wanting the product and the person funding or purchasing the product are two separate entities, all of a sudden you have a problem. If they have different viewpoints on the issue at hand. And so making sure that those two things align, or at least that whoever's paying for it wants the same thing that the customer wants, making sure those things are in the same places is very important. The last thing, just some of the different barriers, and that includes competition and many of the other factors that we have mentioned already. But just weighing the amount of work that it would take to get a prototype where it needs to be to start. And we really had to consider that as some ideas, they're great, but the amount of expertise or technical work or just grinding that needs to be done to get a product where it needs to be might not be worth the effort, because we have limited time and resources, and we really have to weigh those into any of the ideas that we want to move forward. And then the last thing is just making sure that the skill set that you have in your team matches up with what you want to do. And that factored in for a few of our ideas as well. I don't have much expertise myself in the industry of pets and pet products, but we have enough to be able to work with that, and we can fill in the gaps of other parts with the skill sets that each individual has. And that's probably one of the most important parts to remember, is that you don't want a team of individuals that do exactly the same thing, that have all the same knowledge and experiences and viewpoints, because then you don't get those perspectives you need to be able to fail or say, hey, I like this idea, but there's something wrong with it. There's something that needs to be corrected. You want to have a bunch of individuals from different walks of life with different skill sets, so that you can fill in all those cracks and create something collaboratively that is much better than what one or two individuals can do together.